I think it's safe to say the vast majority of romance scam, catfish, and love rat victims have an overly inflated ego.
You embarrass me. You embarrass yourself.
They really think they are hot and interesting enough to get into a way younger and sometimes extremely attractive person's DMs. And boy, do I have an example for you. Patricia is a 64-year-old lady living in the UK. She has acute osteoarthritis and she needs a scooter to go about her day. 4 years before, she felt the need for a companion. She wanted a boyfriend, so she signed on an online dating site. And she quickly got a response. It was from Monda, a 26-year-old guy from Tunisia. I feel the need to remind everyone Patricia was about to turn 60. And sure, Monda is not a supermodel. I don't want to be that person. Attraction is very personal. But he's a young guy, not even in his 30s, approaching someone who doubles his age. Major red flags there for someone with a healthy ego, at least.
When he was messaging me, it was exciting because I thought I'd found the person that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with.
He made her think age is just a number. Which is true, but we all know it's a pretty damn important number. We're not talking about 3, 6, 10-year gap. Patricia could be Monda's grandmother by numbers and by appearances. After 3 weeks of texting, Monda dropped the I love you and plead for her to go visit him in Tunisia on the holidays.
Coming again here, why? Why?
So, she did, osteoarthritis and all. 6 months later, she traveled to see the man she barely knew, who was telling her I love you only 3 weeks after meeting online, and someone who could be her grandkid.
When I got to the airport in Tunisia, he was there waiting for me. And as soon as I saw him, I just fell in love with him straight away.
Monda seemed to feel the same way.
Yeah, nah, he did not, ma'am. Evil as it might sound, but this is a one-sided relationship and fairly obvious because after 5 days, he dropped the marriage card.
He was promising to be with me here and he was going to treat me like a princess, buy me anything I wanted, to go on holidays. He was promising to get a car.
Things. He was gonna buy her stuff. It's always the same. They got married like 6 months later. His family were so happy for them, especially for Monda, because everyone knew their place. But Patricia. I mean, just look at the wedding pictures. I'm not saying that this cannot happen, this type of love cannot exist, but one needs to look at everything around the relationship. How it started, how they met, how quickly they evolved. All that makes the bigger picture appear, and the picture here is of a man who wants to leave Tunisia, wants her money, or both. And before the wedding, she had another red flag slapping her wallet all the way to Mars.
She's a pensioner and says the wedding cost her hundreds of pounds.
I had to pay for everything in Tunisia. Well, I paid for the wedding rings. I had to pay for a sheep that they slaughtered for the food for the wedding.
After the wedding, she returned to the UK and waited for Monda to get the visa. He got a visitor's permit 8 months later. And you might think the reunion was this explosion of emotions, right? Newlyweds who had to be separated for 8 months finally reunited. That's some big stuff, no? Well, no. Once he was in the UK, he treated Patricia as a stranger, which honestly I believe they were. I bet Patricia was excited for her and didn't care about getting to know Monda, and he was on a mission. The objective was to keep Patricia interested enough to get his visa. But like any visitor's visa, it needed to be renewed, something Patricia refused.
Less than a fortnight after arriving in the Midlands, Monda told Patricia he was leaving.
He said, I want to go to Portsmouth, stay with my friend. So he says, can you give me some money, some fare to get up there? I was gutted. I was well gutted.
That's when she realized she was played. Not the fact that he's 33 years younger, him being active while she's age-related disabled, him dropping I love yous after 3 weeks of knowing, getting married and after 8 months of not seeing each other, he's cold and distant, him needing his visa renewed. No, it was the, hey, can I have some cash? I want to see my buddies. That's the moment of clarity. Listen, at least she had one.
He never once bought me a bunch of flowers, box of chocolates, nothing. I had to pay for everything.
Well, he left her, and later the police called her and told her Monda was arrested because his visa had expired. Monda sent her a message.
I don't have no penny, baby, to buy some stuff at myself. If you can send me £100. I don't have no one to help me in your country, just you, baby.
Patricia hasn't given Monda any more money.
This is fantastic. I'm glad she kept a cool head and didn't give him any money. The problem is that maybe she didn't give him any money because she doesn't have any. She's broke. The guy was so expensive she's trying to get a divorce, but she can't afford it.
Court costs are generally £410 to do this. We do a fixed fee that starts from about £650 plus VAT.
I'm only on a pension.
Bad news for her marital status, but on the revenge side, Monda was deported back to Tunisia, so there's that. She's still married to the dude, but he's not contacting her in any way.
When asked to comment, Monda said his marriage to Patricia collapsed due to circumstances beyond his control, that he loved Patricia and that he didn't come to England for money.
I mean, he's leaving his window open so he can potentially crawl back again, like a pro. But Monda probably moved on to another sucker to deceive. Patricia was lonely and Monda came along disturbingly quickly. My question might be, how quickly? Enough for him to be the very first? Or maybe Patricia was already talking to people but none of them felt good enough for her? Who knows? Only her. It's sad because probably she gave up on dating or meeting someone new. It must be hard to still be attached to the person that used you. And I can say, well, maybe this is a lesson not to travel to another country to meet someone you just met and then pay for the entire wedding by yourself and then return to your country to wait for your spouse to arrive with their brand new shiny green card. But I think it's obvious, no? That's obvious. And that is the problem. Ego blinds reality. And that's what happened to Patricia. Everything was disturbingly obvious from the very beginning. But she was so excited to be with a younger guy who promised her a bunch of things, material things. She didn't want to see the surroundings. In a way, it's a good thing she's staying single because she needs a lot of self-reflection, or else she is doomed to repeat the story all over again. What do you think about Patricia, or the story overall? Leave me your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, it really helps. Here is a similar story, but in this case, she was trying to move on from her divorce by marrying a stranger in another continent. It quickly backfires. Thank you for watching.
This is 24-year-old Karan, and he fell in love with 61-year-old Cheryl.
We had a baby. Do you think it would be a problem?
With all due respect, what the fuck are you talking about?